Hi everyone! In this video, I'm going to introduce one of my favorite video games by Chucklefish called Starbound. It was released in July 2016 as an action-space adventure game that is a two-dimensional procedurally generated universe. It's actually quite comparable to its cousin game Terraria, but it differs in the sense that it takes place in space and it seems to be in a much larger world. The essence of Starbound is simple. You choose to be one of 7 playable races, which differ by storyline, ship, and architecture design, and also by the specific aspects of gameplay which are structured to the race's interests. It's interesting to see how the race's occupation of a planet will inform the generated architecture. For example, the floor and villages in Starbound are essentially composed of a series of tree houses, while the apex towns are made of large metallic buildings, and the avian temples are even generated in a way that is actually hostile to players, with booby traps, confusing mazes, and treasure. This can be related to the actual conditions of the culturally sensitive architectures of our world, where different people groups have unique structures that are based on the group's needs and the conditions of their environment. Designers can collaborate with clients of different groups to use potential tools like Starbound as a creative platform, which aids in creating a set of criteria for an area that an architect may not know as much about. You start out as a player that just graduated from school, but a large monster raids the graduation ceremony and you barely escape by spacecraft after the destruction of Earth. The spacecraft shoots into space at a random direction and becomes lost in a sea of stars. Starbound is a quest story-driven game within a simulated sandbox-based universe, so it's really up to you if you want to explore the world by letting the quest tell you where to go, or by turning on God mode and adding mods. You can choose to concentrate on building cool stuff rather than following the storyline. As for the actual sandbox world, Starbound focuses on characters obtaining weapons, armor, and items from all the different world types. The main tools to do so are a crafting system, many different types of planets that are used for exploration, and also combat mechanics which are somewhat lacking. The items, enemies, and planets in Starbound use something called procedural generation. Some of the elements that are generated when a planet is created is difficulty, gravity, biome type, terrain type, sub-biomes, dungeons, villages, weather, temperature, and also ore type. Starbound player Kudzus explains it like this. While these elements seem random, how they're generated is tied to the planet's coordinates in the star chart. The generation engine has the ingredients for each planet, and the coordinates are the recipe. The usage of the word seed here refers to the number from which the procedural generation is grown, which can be used in pseudo-random number generation, fractals, and encryption. Within the context of Starbound, I believe it's a generally simple equation and seed number, which are the planet's coordinates, and then the information mentioned above is used to build the planet. I think it was designed this way so that players can share coordinates for a specific planet that had generated desirable or interesting aesthetics, or maybe contain a specific type of material that someone is looking for. Another way to look at it is this. The planets were random at creation upon not being discovered, but not randomized every time. In some instances, players have found planets beyond the coordinate limits, which shows that there are probably infinite number of planets that are yet to be discovered. Any changes to the planets will save just that. The entire planet will not be saved again, only the changes made to that planet. Chucklefish wanted to create a world where if a discovery at a coordinate is shared, other people can discover it given the coordinates. Dungeon locations, sub-biomes, and monsters are also universal. Starbound also contains several sectors of space, so Gamma Sector and Alpha Sector contain the same coordinate system, but different planets lie at these sectors. All in all, most people seem to enjoy the game from an exploration standpoint. As an architecture and art kid, it's really exciting with the colors and the designs of the world, and it's super calming with the music behind it all. Thinking about the potentials that could be used in architectural design, specifically with procedural generation, the application may be a simple combination of programs like Grasshopper, which is a script-based program, and Revit, which allows several workers to sync simultaneously in 3D settings to create simulated potentials for more efficient design strategies. Thanks for watching my video, and I hope you enjoyed it.